I started my own mobile detailing business for 60 days. Cleaning strangers' cars for money is a but man, does it make some money. The hardest part about the side hustles that I've done is the mistakes that you make. They are endless, but instead of making them alone, I'm going to tell you guys in the last 60 days what my mistakes were. Stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to go over bad customer interactions, tips and tricks, and I'm going to tell you guys whether or not I would start this business all over again if I had to choose, which you don't want to miss that. My absolute biggest mistake in the last 60 days has also been the most costly mistake. Using the wrong tip on my pressure washer is the difference between me having an extra $1,000 in my bank account and adding $1,000 to my customer's bank account. If you're looking to start a business like this, a lot of the cars you're going to end up doing have very bad bugs in the front bumper, which you need to make sure that you remove. Well, let me just say that this isn't easy, and the approach that I took was getting as close to the front bumper with my turbo nozzle and hitting the paint right there. Let's just say in the end, it stripped the paint. If I could go back, I would say you guys need to skip this step so you don't lose $1,000, and you need to designate a soft bristle brush and a magic eraser so you can gently scrub and get the bugs off. 𝗤𝘂𝗂 is incredible, especially if you need help keeping up with customers, sending estimates, invoices, or collecting payments. Give 𝗤𝘂𝗂 a try for free. Just click the link in the comment section and the description of this video. 𝗤𝘂𝗂 is also the fastest way to send estimates, invoices, and secure payment from your customers, and even providing you with real-time business analytics such as close ratio, sales, and expense tracking. This would remove all the bugs off the customer's front bumper, and then you can use very gentle, very light pressure and remove whatever excess is still there. Unless you want to lose $1,000 like me, I hope you wrote that down. My experience as a whole has been really good. You can make some serious money in this industry. This all comes down to your process, how fast you can finish jobs, and how the intensity looks on each of your jobs. Whenever I was starting out this business, I was trying to find a different angle than most people took. A lot of these YouTube or Instagram detailers with crazy transformations, they're offering 15 plus services for one car. And this is awesome. I'm not hating on anything. You can make $400 to $500 a car, but the customer base is where you're going to struggle. That's why I take a different approach, and I offer very basic services when I detail. This allows me to make my pricing much more reasonable and appealing. Also conforming myself and my business to a very wide scale of customers. My usual time per job comes out to about 2 hours. That's for anything smaller than like a freaking sedan or a Yukon, but if I even had something that big, I could do it in 3 hours, leaving me with $100 an hour total. And this is great. It's extremely fast. I'm getting in and out of jobs super easily, but it's because I've mastered my process, and that process being the speed at which I move through a vehicle. Well, some people might disagree. In a business where your main source of income comes from talking to many strangers and setting up jobs, it gets very interesting. People love to fight and negotiate over prices, saying I can't do that job anymore than if you're going to charge that, and they come back a week later saying, hey, I have money. Customers even misleading me about where they lived, and I ended up going to a different location than they said prior. They weren't dangerous people, of course. I wasn't in danger, my safety wasn't at risk, but they were just dishonest. The moral of that is that you never really know what's going to happen when you go to a stranger's house, and trust me, I've gone to a lot. Making money from strangers is great until you get hurt, meaning that I'm always on guard when I go to a new customer's house, and I don't just trust everybody. I don't just do everybody's car. I have my own process for making sure it's a customer that I can trust, and that can be based on whatever you want it to be based on. Sometimes it might be, how do they message you? Are they aggressive with you? Are they calm? Do they have a nicer car? Do they have a nicer house? This might sound dumb and like, oh man, why don't you just go to the job and do it like a man? It's all in your own safety, not just physically, but also financially. I've done many jobs in trailer parks where people are trying to steal my equipment literally mid-job, or even doing jobs for customers that I didn't have my set standards for and they didn't pay me. Now let's get into quoting. I've pretty much set a pricing maximum that I do for every single job. Of course, some of my pricing might vary between car to car and person to person because the services I offer, I also have extras. Of course, I'm always offering extra stuff, so that price is going to vary because markups are a winner in business. You always want to have extra stuff the customer is able to buy. A lot of my subscribers have been struggling to get more customers or even their first customer, but I developed my own lead strategy that has gotten me my first $10,000 in jobs. And good news, my course is completely finished. If you guys want to learn my strategy of how I've gotten $10,000 in free leads that I can continue to service day after day after day, there is now a number that you can contact. Listen, the course is not going to be for free. I give away a lot of good information on this channel, but if you want to take your business to the next level, or you're thinking about starting a business but you don't know how to get customers, in this course I'm going to teach you how not to get scammed, how to get thousands of dollars in free customers that you can service on and on and on. Also, how to talk to customers and make sure that you sell your service quickly and efficiently with my own personal messages that I've had with customers. You guys can contact this number up here, and if you send me the word strategy, we're going to get you set up immediately. Whenever it comes to most cars smaller than an SUV or a big truck, I'm staying between $150 to $200. You might be like, Matt, but how do I tell the customer this is how much money I want? And you always have to remember, it's not just about how much the customer needs to pay you, but how much you want the customer to pay you. It's literally as simple as that. Just asking the customer a couple of questions, building up into the quoting process because you need their address and you need their type of vehicle. Once you've done this a couple of times, you'll start to get more comfortable. Like I said, simply ask the customer what kind of vehicle they have and ask if they can send you their location or their address so you can check the house out or just to have it. These two things are also going to directly create your price because there's also little add-ons that I do when I'm pricing things. If it's anything over 25 minutes to drive, I start adding travel fees. And the type of car they have is going to tell me how long it's going to take me. The difference between doing a Toyota Camry versus doing a Yukon is going to be very different, but I know the price on what I want to make. Most people aren't going to argue back with you. Some people might not message you if they don't like your price, but at first you're going to be worried about asking what you truly deserve to make. You're more than likely going to discount yourself and the value that you bring because you want the yes and you want a little bit of money. Now, what you've all been waiting for, would I start this business again if I could choose? Drum roll, please. Hell yeah. The money is super good and you can lock in for a couple of hours because of how simple the work is, and boom, you get an extra $300 in your pocket.